Yeah, let's get started. So, if I can just give you a brief background, I'm in my 30s. I've been a professional photographer, marketer, influencer for the last 12-ish years. And so I come in with a lot of sensitivity to the market that we want to reach, which is into the next generation as we continue to refine and build this industry that is called rideshare. So, a large part of what I'm about to present to you today is, the not just the company and the technology, but the altruistic parts of it that makes us a socially responsible company in our core values. So everything that we do, it stems out of this vision that we want to be a socially responsible and environmentally conscious rideshare platform. And I believe that if we can really drive that home through our actions and not just our words, I think that we're not just going to be a radically different rideshare company, but we can really pave the way for corporations in general. That corporations should be socially conscious, self aware, looking forward to the future, not just the people that we serve, but in the planet that we're on. And so my big job as marketing director is to make sure not just that this message goes out to the public, to not just our drivers, but to the riders as well. We're very savvy with technology and the state of our world currently, but also making sure that internally that we're able to follow up and actually execute, and in our actions that we're able to deliver, and not just say what that sounds good, but in the way we donate to nonprofits and the way we help support our drivers by giving 100% of the ride fare, that everything we do stems and goes back and points back to this vision, so that it's evolutionary in its function and revolutionary in its features. We're a tech company, so a part of technology is that it's always evolving, it's always growing, it's always changing, it's always shifting to meet not just market demand, but kind of where this as us as a society, where we're headed and what is most important to us at that moment in time, and what will be most important to us in the next 5 to 10 to 15 years. So uh, as a part of that, as we roll out the technology, we really want to establish fairness, especially in the light of all the labor laws and all the contention and all the controversy. We want to establish a fair market, not just for our industry, but across every industry. We want to show that, hey, we can be a profitable company that also makes uh, other industries kind of challenging them in how they take care of their employees, their independent contractors, their customers, their users, so that we're all being responsible, so that it's sustainable. Um, and I think that if we can gather that kind of loyalty amongst our diehard users, our people, the people that really believe in this vision with us, then we can do it together and actually go into places that people, maybe other bigger corporations might be afraid to go, because they haven't started from that foundation of a loyalty that's based on true altruism, a true responsibility, a true conscientiousness of our social values. So we can go on to the next slide here, Bill. So this is one of the core values and phrases that we came up with, which is going places and doing good. And we want to make sure that with every ride, that there's not just a monetary element to doing something good in the local community, but we are literally keeping money in the pockets of the communities that we're a part of. So we like to say, as I go to New York, as I visit places like in Miami where we launched, as I talk to drivers, as I talk to riders, as I talk to influencers, as I talk to my friends who are Gen Zers and millennials like myself, we all want to know that we're doing something good and we're not actually harming the communities that we're in, and we're not harming the planet that we're living on. So how can we, as a company, um, come up with not just campaigns, but really systems that help everybody do some sort of good with every single ride that we do, with every single drive that we do. And we want to make sure that, not just in the money, but in the sort of campaigns that we do, that we're always reinvesting back into the community, back into the schools, back into our neighborhoods, back into doing local business. So, we really want to treat every driver like they're their own local business. We're not, from New York sending a bunch of money back to San Francisco or any other place, but we're keeping that money in the community and making sure that we are investing in the long-term future of that community. So next slide, Bill. Our mission. So, how are we going to make sure that the vision comes to fruition? And this is our mission, which, as I said before, we're going places and doing good. So, what does that mean? There's three targets that we want to hit. One for the driver and the drive. Our mission is to protect the driver, not just physically, but financially as well. Healthy drivers are the foundations of our company. So, there's so many companies that kind of forget how they got there. And we really believe in our drivers and we want to protect our drivers. And we never want to forget that it's the drivers that got us up off the ground. So, we really want to make sure that not just the experience, but in the money, the financial aspects of it, the support we put behind it, in the customer care, in the personal attention that we strive to give, that we are protecting and bettering the way people drive. And like we said, the whole rideshare industry is a relatively new industry as a whole. So there's so much more room for improvement. And my dream and our goal as a marketing team and as a company as a whole is to really revolutionize and lead the way and spearhead the way into being driver conscious in the way we treat our drivers and the experience that they provide. Number two would be a better way to ride. So our mission is to bring a refreshing experience to our riders through generous incentives and innovative features. So, for the conscientious generation that is to come, millennials and younger, we're very savvy, like I said, about technology and the social responsibility that the companies have to the community and the places that they operate in. So we want to make sure that, if a young tech savvy that writer who's very in tune with world news and what's going on in their community finds out that, hey, we're being responsible. We're driving out and pumping out new features as a tech company that helps riders know that with every ride, hey, we're not just taking care of ourselves, but the community that we're in. We have a strong belief that it can garner a lot of loyalty. And I've personally talked to riders that are like, hey, I'm so tired of being um, kind of not treated as a smart person or swindled or deceived or terrible marketing practices that I would rather pay more to a company that is has integrity and delivers and support them with my dollars and cents than go to the cheapest the lowest bidder. And I believe that. I believe that about my generation. I believe that about the next generation and the generations that preceded us, that we can vote with our dollars. And we believe that if we can continue to go places and do good, then people can, really help. We can help generate that loyalty amongst our riders. And wherever we all know, wherever the riders go, the drivers will follow as well. We want to create a strong, stable market that's not cyclical in nature by going up and down depending on who has a better promotion or who's undercutting who. But if we have great core values and a great vision and a great mission, we believe that people will stick with us. And if people will stick with us, then guess what? The drivers benefit and we all benefit together. And lastly, doing good with every ride. Um, Hold on one second. Yep. And with doing good with every ride, our mission is to positively impact our communities by partnering with local businesses and nonprofit organizations. So we don't want to just target the national, but the community. And we really want to get smaller as a company as we get larger. Next slide. Here's a couple of quick things that make us different. Many of you guys might already know, but first and foremost, we're a software as a service technology company. And our foundational core is to innovate as a tech company and bring new products and features to market. Like I said before, there's so much room to grow. And as the industry evolves, our needs change. And so we want to keep on top of that and predict the changes that are to come and be always a step ahead. So the next 8 things are just some of the features that we want to bring to market. Um, Again, being eco-conscious and social justice, having social justice initiatives is very important to us. But we're hoping to see this list grow as we evolve as a company ourselves. Next slide. Take a ride, change a life. Hey, you're not just helping a driver, you're helping a community, you're helping families. And we have so many great ideas and campaigns going into the future to highlight the drivers. And, I have a strong desire to humanize our drivers as well, that you're not just someone who's like a machine that takes people from point A to point B, but you have families, you have desires, you have goals, you have missions. A lot of people that I ride with, they're professors, they're full-time workers in other industries of life that are very important to our societal fabric. So we want to help highlight that and know that, hey, you as a writer, thanks for being loyal with us. You're helping change lives. Next slide. And we can do better. And I think this is, to me, something that resonates so deeply within me more than anything else is, hey, we can always be better. Like our CEO Bob just said, hey, there's always room to grow. We're a startup, we're always changing things, but there's always room to grow. And as long as we can stay adaptable and be humble in our nature and always look forward to what's ahead and not be prideful in the way we take advice from our drivers who are a core asset and from the riders that use our service every day, there's always room to grow and be better. And we
That's
can move
amazing,
on.
man. Thank you so much, Daniel. I'm going to chime in here a little bit because I want to actually take a few seconds to show you guys some of the stuff that Daniel and I, our marketing slash technology team have been working on behind the scenes. I think it's important for you guys to see that everything is so well connected, and that there's things that we're way ahead already planning out, and this is going to give you guys a little glimpse of what is the 2.0 version of Tryp Rides that's coming here next month or so. So, I'm going to get right into it because I know it's been a little longer. I know this call's going to be a little long because a lot of you guys have a lot of questions. We want to make sure we spend enough time for all of you guys. Can you see my screen?
We can.
Awesome. All right. So, Bill, I cannot see any questions. I'll let you kind of manage that.
I am. Okay.
Cool. So here are some of the, there's a lot going on this app. So I'm going to show you some of the crucial things. And I want you guys to just see. So, by the way, this work right here is, even though I was there with Daniel, it's predominant Daniel's work. And you're going to be blown away by the touch that he brings to the table and all the amazing work that he does. So when a rider gets in the app, right, the first things they're going to see after creating their accounts is these welcome cards. As you can see here, a lot of the messaging is exactly what Daniel was just showing. That's why I wanted him to kind of go over that. And this is a prototype of the new app. So we're going to go right into that. Again, I'm not going to read it all again because Daniel just did, but I will go through it. So our values are always going to be right there. So the first experience that any rider has with us, as well as drivers, are understanding who we are as a company, our core values and whatnot, and why they should be, joining us in this trip, if you will, pun intended. So there we go. So this is how. What do you guys think about this? Obviously, this is still a prototype version. We're still figuring out how it's going to look like. But Dan, I actually want you to mute yourself if you mind, because I think you're going to do again a much better job than I can, because you spend weeks actually working on this, makes the whole magic work. So I'll click it around. But what was your feeling here when we were designing this?
Yeah, so I have an engineering background. That's what I studied in college. So I'm all about the UI UX experience. That's the user experience and the user interface. And so even the way we laid out this home screen right here, which is the first screen you'll see when you log in, um, you'll have your profile information, your rating, so you can be as a rider self-aware that, hey, drivers are rating you too. So hey, be on good behavior. Everything here is operatable with your left thumb is kind of how I laid it out, so that I travel a lot between airports. I got bags in my right hand. I'm trying to get from point A to point B. I don't have time to take my hands off and constantly respond. So even the layout here is, I tried to make it as intuitive as possible. And so from here, let's say I want to search for a destination. Let's go over there. They'll tell you your current location and your recent location down below. so that you can quickly go back. But let's say I want to search for a new location. I'm feeling hungry today. So I typed in Chipotle. Yep. I type in I select the first location. Now we have a list of all the different cars and types of classes that we can hire with their ETA below. If you tap the estimated trip time, you get some trip details that will help you make the decision and get a little more information on where you're about to go if you want to go back. Let's say I want to change the card. Yep. You can quickly adjust what's your top two cards because honestly, how many people choose between 4 or 5 cards every time they take a ride somewhere? Let's go back. Let's say I want to I want to book this trip with standard. So confirm your trip. Here's a quick overview of where you're coming from and where you're about to go to. The cost of that ride, your ETA, of how long you should wait till someone picks you up. Yes, let's confirm this ride. Cool, it looks like the booking was successful. Your driver, James, is on the way. And this part will go pretty quickly, but we'll step back. So from here, David, if you want to go back maybe 2 or 3. Yep, right there. Your driver, James, is on the way. Let's pop out that slider. So you can pop it out at any time. You'll get some quick menu items here. If you want to just step through like share ride, for example, slide out right there. You can share your trip with your friends. You can find your friends on the Tryp app and send an ETA to anybody through SMS. So if you want to click like, let's get rid of that menu. Yeah. Let's contact the driver here. So you can do a phone call, a text message, but let's say I'm on the move. I don't have time to stop. There's a ton of people around me. Let's go to the quick alerts. And this is where through the alert system that we have at the top of the app, your driver will be notified, hey, chill out. You don't be such in a rush. He's on the way. 2 minutes. That's it. And down below, you'll have some details about the ride itself. Yep. So let's step to the next screen. Yep. And slide out the driver again, or slider. And this time I can try canceling the trip. Let's say I made the wrong move here. If you go up, David, yep, cancel my ride. So it tells you a really quick way of canceling that ride. You don't have to leave this screen. And let's say there's something wrong while you're waiting. There's a quick dial function to having a SOS or 911. And before the driver picks you up, let's say I'm tired. I don't want to talk. It's not anyone's fault. Turn on Zen mode and your driver will be notified. And then if you have any concerns, you can raise a concern down below. Yep. And let's step back one step here to slide 36. Yep. And slide out the slider again. Sorry. So, sorry, let's go back because you're seeing the error case where let's say you stepped into the wrong car. But as soon as the driver picks you up, it'll say provide this passcode to your driver. So you make sure that you're in the right car, much like how it works at LAX right now. And as soon as you enter the right code, hey, guess what? You're on your ride. And let's say you have arrived. Let's pop out the slider one more time. So from here, let's say, actually, if you pop down that slider, it's very intuitive. It'll ask you right then and there, you've arrived. Would you like to rate your driver? Let's say I rate him 4 stars.
Oh, real quick. And by the way, here's where you favor your driver too. Just simply tap the photo. Isn't that right?
Yep. So you'll see the badges that your driver might have for being an excellent driver or a veteran driver, their rating and your fare total at the end. Let's say I give him 5 stars or 4 stars, depending on how good they are. You'll see a slide out here with their tip that's being calculated right then and there. Your trip details at a glance. Yep. And this is where transparent receipts come into play. So we always say your driver gets 100% of your ride fare. So what is that ride fare? You see it right there. Your first line item, $4.22. And it'll tell you, the rider, how much your driver just made, the base fare, and how everything is calculated. So we're 100% transparent. Let's go to the next line item. Your driver reimbursement. So again, any tolls and credit card processing fees that were paid out from your ride. Next one, this is how much we make. This is to run operational costs and rider rewards, and then taxes and fees. And then the total fare is very clear. And then lastly, in that bottom section is going places and doing good. Again, we want to drive home the fact that our mission statement. So with every ride, this is a rotating kind of feature set right here, where we're partnering up with local charities or nonprofit organizations saying that, hey, from this ride, you've helped plant a tree or help donate to the Boys and Girls Club in that community. And then from here, you could send a copy or raise a concern and start a new trip. And that's pretty much it. There's a bunch of other menu items that you're not seeing right now because we're building out. Oh, here we go. Again, this menu is one tap, actually one hand functionality. So with your left thumb, you could tap that menu. You get a quick overview of your trip history. You can quickly adjust your payment method. You can see your dashboard. Yep.
Yeah, that's all we have for now.
Yep. So we make it very easy to handle and operate. And we're really driving home the humanization aspect of it as well, not just for the driver, but as a rider. So we're building in some future functionality in terms of having your friends on the app, making sure that, hey, be conscientious. You're a rider that's visible on the platform. You can't just treat drivers anonymously. Hey, let's be transparent, not just from a company standpoint, but from a user standpoint, including drivers and riders. So that's some future preview of how our app's going to look, version 2.0.
Amazing. Well, I mean, I would love to engage you guys here because we haven't done it a lot. What do you guys think? And just so you guys know, right, this is something that's dear to our heart, Daniel. And one of the reasons why we brought Daniel on board, a few months back. And this is we've been spending hours and hours and hours developing this so that we can go and really give Tryp that the new fresh look and make it the best app in the market. And I'm sure you guys can all see that this UI right here will blow any other app out there. And just, I want you guys to understand that it doesn't happen overnight, but we have been, we don't stop. When we say we don't stop, we really mean it, don't stop. And like Bob said earlier, changing is good. Change is amazing. I love change. This is my 8th startup. And by the way, I want to say something that has nothing to do with this. Every single one of the people that Bob, has introduced here, I would say that 95% of them are unpaid. Nobody gets paid. Okay, just to show you the level of commitment of these people working day in, day out. 80 hours a week to make sure Tryp becomes a reality. So, and this is the kind of stuff we're working on. So rest assured.
If I could just add to this too, guys. All right. One of the most amazing things about this is that Daniel learned this program and built everything you just saw in about a week and a half. Okay. So, it was like lightning fast, lit all of us up. We could not believe it. So David, I just wanted to add that.
Absolutely. It just to show, and this, by the way, what you guys are seeing, this is the staff prior to developing, right? So this tool is an amazing tool that gives developers a way to start building a lot faster than the traditional way. So that's why we took that route. And just rest assured that we're going to go cover a lot more things right now, but I want to make sure you guys spend enough time understanding who it is that's working on Tryp. It's not one person. It's not Bob. It's not David, right? There's a whole team, I dare to say, even way more qualified than we are. And that's how, smart business is done. You got people who are better than you and put them to work, that believe in the vision. And this is the kind of stuff you can expect, moving forward from Tryp.